Hello, and welcome to Wisdom Ways live stream on spiritual themes. I'm Dr. Marian Diaz, Director of Wisdom Ways Center for Spirituality, and usually Carly Swenson, our communications strategist, is joining me for these, but she won't be here today. Our theme for today is transcendence. Transcend is our key word that we're going to be exploring. The series of themes that we're looking at over these few weeks are representative of the pillars in what we're referring to as our Gift Leadership Institute. So it's grow, integrate, flourish, and transcend. And so I just invite you to look at that leadership program, which is a 2-year cohort program, and really focuses on developing leadership in a way that integrates spirituality and justice. So we wanted to highlight these themes and give a little bit of extra promotional time to the program, so definitely go check it out, especially for those who are in the helping professions or working in justice spaces. I'm working with Dr. Angela Swain to make that program something that will be very supportive, but yet also challenge you to grow and make change in your organizations. So our theme for today is transcend. And when you think of that word initially, right, it really, in a basic way, means just to go beyond the self. And we're going to kind of explore a few different ways that that can happen. But this idea of transcendence and self-transcendence has been key to spirituality. In some ways, one could say it sort of defines spirituality and gives it its reason for being. For those of you who may have been exposed to some psychology in your educational time, you may have heard of a pyramid of Maslow's core needs. And Maslow's core needs include, at the very base of the triangle, first of all, the physiological needs, right? We need air, we need water, we need shelter, food, clothing, all these things that we need physiologically. So the most basic needs. Then he moves up to the need for safety, right? We need safety, security in our living spaces, in our work, in our relationships. Then the third need that Maslow talks about is love and belonging, right? We need that connection to other people. We need those supports and communities to be around us. Now, those first three needs Maslow identifies as basic sort of deficit needs. And the other three needs move into places of support and growth, right? And so that fourth need is something we've touched on here, which is even just like self-esteem, right? Moving into one's own self-identity and confidence. And typically Maslow's known as having 5 needs. And the fifth one is the need for self-activation is kind of what he calls it, like moving into oneself as active in the world. And so I think of that need as perhaps satisfied by the experience of flow that we've talked about here. Now, researchers have gone back to look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and really, when looking at his work, they identified that there was actually another 6th need at the pinnacle of his triangle. And that 6th one is actually self-transcendence. And so even though we really look a lot at self-development as part of core to what it means to become a whole human person, there's this other need to actually even go beyond oneself. And that is what we're going to focus on today. But you can kind of see how all these needs and what it means to be human build up upon each other. So when we think of self-transcendence, I'll talk about a few ways that this can happen, and then we'll do an experiment and kind of reflect on it again. This can happen in a religious space or in the sense of a transcendence toward a belief in God, right? Toward faith in God, toward reaching out in terms of spirit or something that is greater than oneself, okay? So it can happen in those spaces. It can also just happen in experiences of beauty, of awe and wonder at perhaps the natural world, or maybe a piece of art. The other way that self-transcendence can happen is moving out of oneself just in terms of one's own ethics and integrity and acting on behalf of other people, right? And so this is where we think a lot of work that's done to really make our world a better place for more and more people. Sometimes that work really involves bringing in and addressing the needs at those other levels, those more basic needs of love and belonging and just food and water and clothing. So there's all these ways that we can go out beyond who we are. And for me, from sort of, I would say like a spiritual and a psychological sense even, there's an element in it of just self-forgetting in a way. It's these experiences of being perhaps so overwhelmed by beauty, or maybe it's the presence of just another person whom you love, that you kind of interact and you're there and you're really giving and being present to the other person in a way that honors them and allows you to move beyond who you are. So that's kind of a lot of words. And right now we're going to go into a little experiment. This is going to be a very simple meditation that will just begin to open you up to a sense of an expansive self and hopefully transcending yourself. Okay, so let's take a few deep breaths. Do whatever you need to do to get comfortable. Maybe silence your phones. Maybe just take a minute to let go of whatever concerns or worries you're carrying. So for today's time together, just let's take a few deep breaths together, inhaling deeply, maybe pausing on the inhale, and then just a long exhale through the mouth. Let's do this 2 more times together. And as you're relaxing, feel your body relaxing and just breathing. Continue to breathe at a slow pace. And I want you to imagine just a light within you. Locate that light wherever you want it to be. Make it any color that you want it to be. Maybe you're imagining something white or gold or blue. Just feel that light within you. Continue to breathe. Pay attention to that little flame. And then expand that light gradually into the whole of your body. Feel that light throughout your whole torso and neck and legs. Arms, through your head. Just feel that light. Breathe. And then let that light gradually expand outside of your body, maybe to about 1 meter outside of your body. Just feel what that's like, that light originating within you and moving out beyond you. And give it a few breaths. Feel that energy. And then allow it to fill the entire room that you're in, the space. Maybe it's starting to impact other forms of life around you, other people, animals, plants. But feel your light expanding. And now continue to expand it to the entire building that you're in, maybe the property that you're on. And breathe. As you continue to breathe, expand that light to your town or your city. Feel that growth, that expansion. Feel it enveloping the region. Now expand it to the broader state, region that you live in. Continue to breathe. And then see that light and feel that light cover the country in which you find yourself, your country. Maybe you imagine it as a map, or you're visualizing the globe of the earth from above. And then finally, expand that light to encompass our entire world. The earth. Feel your connection through this expansion to all that is. Know that what you are connecting to, you are a part of. Breathe. And know that what you're connecting to, it is you. You are a part of it. And come back to focus your attention on the lights that's closest to you, around you, and in your body. Take a few more deep breaths, feeling that energy. feeling the power of that light. And then gradually come back to your experience in your body. Maybe move, shift, adjust, stretch as we end our meditation. So just continue to breathe, adjust as you need. Again, hopefully that was a good, positive experience for you. It can be a bit challenging, right? As sort of
I'm not sure I understand.
Siri, I'm not talking to you. An imaginative experience as you move, especially beyond yourself, and you start to recognize that hopefully you have the feeling that even as you're moving into self-transcendence, you're kind of losing yourself, but not really. That light, that origin of the light is still there in you. And there's still a sense of self as you're connecting with the other. And whether that's just persons who are in the room with you and feeling that energy that you're sending out more closely, or perhaps even the envisioning of the encompassing of the globe. And here we are right on Earth Day, so I thought also this would be a lovely way to send love, send positive energy, send light and healing to our entire Earth. Sometimes transcendence is experienced through this sense of connection with nature. And I just invite you, as you know, you're moving through your days, to just sort of start to play with that and start to think about what is it to be connected. We laugh, we're down here with no windows or anything, and so all of these plants are plastic. They are not watered and receiving light. But think about that when you're seeing maybe plants around you, or people or animals or other creatures. How are you relating to them? What are they sending energy to you? What are they maybe communicating to you? And start to think about this in a more dynamic way. And then just again, finally, this idea, a lot of times when we're thinking about our connection to something beyond, we see it as something like different from us or completely separate from us, but really in the sense of being as a whole creation, there's connection and unity underlying it. So I hope this is just a little fragment of a taste about what transcendence can be like. There's certainly many more ways to approach transcendence, as I've only indicated. And again, maybe describe in the comments any experiences you've had of transcendence, or what is kind of your preferred way to experience this. Again, check out all of our offerings on our website, wisdomwayscenter.org, and look forward to seeing you here again. Thanks for joining us.